Well, both teams on the floor for this round 4 game of the second stage. Benetton Treviso in green, 1 win away from the final 8 in Turin. Turk Telekom need the win to keep alive their realistic hopes of making that same final 8 tournament. This could be one hell of a game here, because Turk Telekom should come with a lot of emotion trying to get the win, but they could have started with a great play early on, but missed the layup, and Benetton down the floor. Early 3 is long, no good, and we should see Benetton with Deshaun Wood setting things up for them in the half court. Good ball movement.
This Benetton team, Roy, they've got incredible scoring power. You wouldn't think that from the 2 dreadful jump shots they've taken. Watch out for Gary Neal. This kid here lit up Turk Telekom last week, dropping, what did he have on them last time? 23 points, 8 for 11 outside.
They've got a foul on the inside, and that's really where Turk Telekom need to take the ball. And it's that man we talked about earlier on, Erwin Dudley. When we saw him early on, he's a strong performer on the inside. Gives them lots of options in there.
Yeah, he's very strong, athletic. He shoots the ball exceptionally well. He's got the mid-range jump shot, nice post game. He's a beast. He's the kind of player that you want to have. But let's not overestimate him, because 2 weeks ago he got blown out by 20 points in his own gym. So let's not get too excited about him. A good matchup between him and Judd Wallace, the 4 guy for the guy at 4 position for Benetton. Almost in the mold of that Spencer Nelson. It's a style that they like. 6'9", can shoot outside.
Well, it's Benetton in the half court, and both teams looking to go to the inside. It's good execution by them, and there's Matthias Lenger's fouled. That's a tough matchup for Edogan on the inside. Serenga's got a little bit of size on him, and he's much stronger. Real tough character, Serenga, national team player. Another one of the silver medal winning players from Athens. A lot of depth, as Martin said earlier in the game. To the hoop, a lot of contact, doesn't get the drop, and Deshaun Wood, great first step as he went to the hoop.
Yeah, great explosion. Poor defensive footwork there, because he allowed the right-hand dribbler to go first step to his strong side. I'm just a little bit surprised that Benetton haven't tried to establish Sandro Nisovic, number 10, on the inside yet. The first shot he took was a dreadfully ugly fade away from 18 feet. But Deshaun Wood trying to establish a penetration game, which can be translated as, by definition, an inside game.
Well, definitely going to the basket, but to Asik at the point. Erwin Dudley releases, get that high post pass, and the reversal at Edogan on the perimeter. Good ball movement, nice tempo. This is the style you'll see from Turk Telekom tonight, trying to control the basketball, moving it, get open shots. From the perimeter, Dudley, that's not really his game. Good job on the glass, going up, offensive rebound, tremendous job on the glass as Bekar Agami really goes to work on the glass there. And Turk Telekom need that side of commitment to get this game going in their way. Yeah,
you can see already that there's a degree of overconfidence on the part of Benetton, and this is why I said to you that, well, no, I'm not going to ride off Turk Telekom. If they're in this game early, they'll stick around for the long haul, because they have got the offensive firepower, and in that guy there, Michael Wright, we know they've got a bona fide 30-point scorer.
Well, that combination of Edogan and Wright could be key here. The penetration from Edogan really created a nice easy 2, but Wright still had to finish it. Good start here by Turk Telekom, much better. And they've obviously done their homework for this game, obviously looking like they've used the 2 weeks between these 2 games. That's a tough call. That's just guys playing defense, a little bit of banging around on the inside, but the referee blew the whistle.
Yeah, a good point you made there, Mark, about teams doing their homework. And it's almost a unique position where they've had 2 weeks of no games. So the last competitive game they played was against each other. So bearing in mind, you just blown these guys out the water the last time you met. You would imagine, naturally, if you take them home, the Benetton are expected to win this game comfortably. But if you look at these 2 teams matched up on paper, this Turk Telekom team are by no means chumps. In fact, you wouldn't be surprised if it had been the other way round.
Yeah, still nothing going very well at all for Benetton in terms of offense. Still having to settle for the long jump shots. Surprising substitution that saw Edogan step out of the game. Penetration to the hoop, and it's no good for Baramovich. Is no good for him. The long 3, and the Benetton get the rebound. There's a foul, bit of confusion both ways, and the new guy's in the game, and it just didn't look like the offense was functioning that time.
No, but again, thinking from the coach's perspective, you got blown up by 20 points. You want to try and find who's going to play for you early on, and Barish in that time, he got the steal, pulled up, shot the jump shot. Try and find whatever works. I mean, let's not forget they're up by 3 points at the moment, so it's not a bad start of the game for them.
That's much better. Going to the inside, excellent execution. And as Martin said, couldn't work out why Wallace hadn't seen the basketball. He gets the basketball in the post, and he's tough to guard down there. Nice strong move, simply changed the angle, and Wallace gets a nice 2 going to the inside. Here's Turk Telekom trying to build on this nice start. They need 5-4. Right, going to the hoop, nice first step, fouled on the penetration. And again, it's just another example of what Martin was talking about in terms of Michael Wright getting the basketball.
Michael Wright finishes. He's a serious baller. That's all we can say. Look at that strong first step, and he's very effective, and he shoots the ball within a foot every time. He's trying to get to the basket. Great athlete, great hands, both left and right. He's a handful. If he gets unsung, you've got to watch out. But they need one of these guards to step up. We talked about this before with them. Achik or Erdogan have got to get things cooking.
Well, Michael Wright's getting things cooking. Nice step back for Michael Wright with a mid-range 2. A little bit further than the 1 foot. And if he starts making from 10 feet, he could have a huge...
Yeah, his face, about to say, that's his 3-point shot right there.
And we've got a foul called against Tuku Atsik, and they're struggling to contain Deshaun Wood on the dribble.
He's very quick. You see him there, he's trying to post up, and then he pops out to the wing, and actually got no chance of guarding him. And you can see there, the number 12 Basri needs to step up the lane, take away that lane, and try and force him back to the help. Try and put him on his left hand, but when a guy's got that much quickness, it's easier said than done. Or you let him beat you and have one of your shot blockers come over and take care of him. But
he's good from the line too, is Deshaun Wood, but misses the second one. That's always on cue. If you ever want me to get people in this free throw shoot, just email in and we'll make that statement. And at the moment, I've got a pretty good record at it. Nice penetration. Dudley should have handled that. And good penetration.
You can see, you're the coach, I'm the big man. You're saying big Dudley should have handed up, saying make the layup. You had a layup, for goodness sake. What's wrong with Turk?
In the half court here again, Wood, who's really controlling this Benetton offense at the moment. Inside, nice exchange with good rotation on defense. Barish came up with getting his hands in on the break now, leads the break. Dudley this time from mid-range, Wright's a monster on the glass, keeps it alive, and Dudley comes up with great work by the Twin Towers of Turk Telekom. Long 3, Wright's going to come up with another offensive rebound and a foul on Deshaun Wood. Wow, again, Michael Wright has come to play. And we were worried about before, how much would Turk Telekom commit to this game? Well, Michael Wright's already showing his own personal pride is enough for him. Excellent work by him on the glass. Turk Telekom controlling the ball on the baseline. Atsik is not good with a 3. Chance of Benetton to cut into this early narrow lead that Telekom have built. Early pull up by Sorenga. It's over the back of the backboard. That's not really his game.
No, it's a bad shot. It's not Saragna's game. Saragna, he'll make big shots when you need them. He's not coming off a dribble, going to pull up and nail you. He's a feet set kind of player. But likewise, Achik, he's a streak shooter. You would expect that from the Turkish guards. They've got a history of shooting on sight. But as you see here, Rod Blakely coming into the game, that's more of a control point guard situation for them. You mentioned Michael Wright at the moment. Wright and Dudley, I would say, are having the better of Wallace and Nisovic. And if that maintains throughout the game, this could get very interesting.
Barris just knocks down the 3. Excellent execution. Pretty basic play with that little high post screen, but well executed as Turk Telekom build on that good start. They lead at 10-5. Deshaun Wood in the half court. Wow, Joe White steps to the 3-point line. Short, and that sums up the problems that Benetton are having. Looks like we're going to get a timeout that they really need as well, because that's not really in the game plan for Judson Wallace looking to hit the 3s.
Well, they take the shot too quick, that's all. I mean, Wallace is an excellent 3-point shooter for a big man, but it's sort of a last resort sort of shot he takes.
No foul, and Michael Wright looks a bit surprised. Chance for Benetton to get on the break. Sean Wood feeds, it's no good on the trail play, and Turk Telekom with the 10-5 lead. Coming down the floor, almost a nice little high-low play. That'll be the Turk Telekom ball. It's good the way Dudley and Michael Wright really looking to combine on the inside.
Both sets of big men trying to take care of interior passing, and Nisovic there showing good hands, knocked the ball loose. A great drop-off from Dudley. The referee's got that one completely wrong, because that came off Michael Wright's big number 7 shoe.
Inbound ball here, Roderick Blakeney brings it back to the top. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Barris has made the last 3. Thought about that one. Down to 5 seconds on the shot clock. Got to get a pick and roll going. Does so. Pulls up for the 3. Nails the 3 for a 13-5 start. And with 3:52 to go in the first quarter. Any doubt we had about Turk Telekom in this game? Well, it's gone. What a great start by Turk Telekom. And it's Benetton who have the problems. And welcome back to Treviso. And that man in picture, Doman Lorbeck, really sparked a very slow starting Benetton team with back-to-back 3s to reduce the margin to 2 at the end of the first quarter. And Benetton, with the possession in their favour, have got a chance to lead after all the work that Turk Telekom have done. Beautiful execution, great cut by Salanga. Ball went to the high post, and literally Yugumumi was asleep on the weak side. Just didn't react, and there you see he's way behind, just got beat on a flash cut, and, well, just take some time on the bench after that. And number 21, Akpinyar, Mutlu Akpinyar, steps into the game. Lorbeck really feeling it, but is off the mark with that one. Come on, don't slap the ball away early. Dudley just rips some rebounds down.
He lost contact with Rensick there, and almost, you're right, he should have blocked out in the first place so he could have jumped up and rebounded, but once he'd done that, he'd lost position, recognised he was going to lose out and knocked the ball loose.
Here's Benetton in the half court. Lorbeck passes up that opportunity to shoot it, gives it to Renzi in the block. A lot of dribble, not going very far, but gets to the middle now. Steps through. Lovely little finish.
I'm about to say, not strong enough to get around the big man, but Renzi, incredibly soft touch there. Got himself in the no man's land, but converts into 2 points, and we've got a tie ball game on our hands.
Absolutely. Looking high-low, backdoor was there for Blakeney, didn't take it, pulls up, pulls the trigger on the 3, drains it. If they get this perimeter game going, we're going to have a real tough one all night. This could go a long, long way, this one.
Well, the perimeter game is working. Yep. You've got Barish, and now you've got Blakeney nailing the 3s. You've got the strong play from the big men.
Something happened off the ball. Love to see that.
Well, Barish bumped Nisovic on the low-to-low screen, and Chris Lang laughing and saying, well, you got him a good one there, Sunshine.
Should be a Benetton ball on the baseline. And we're seeing Massimo Bulleri first action in the game at the start of this second quarter. This guy's got so much experience. He's really going to help this Benetton team in the second half of the season. Lorbeck off the screen. Plates it low, and the Savage with the long 2 and strokes that one nicely. And after all the things that have been going on with Benetton not really being ready to play, they trail by just 1 with 8:40 to go in the second quarter. Rodney Blakeney tries to get that little tempo, the slow tempo that's worked so well for Telekom in this early part of the game. Dudley, long 2. Is off, but Kirk and Lang comes up with an offensive rebound. Great look on the inside. Dudley very awake to that, but tremendous look by Barris Ozcan. What a nice pass.
Who is Barris Ozcan? You know, he's a stand-up player, tough, hard-nosed defender. All of a sudden tonight, like Magic Johnson out there, drilling 3s, no-look passes under the bucket. Chris Lang doing what he does well, which is offensive rebound. You know, good looking play by both teams. And this kid, Renzi, you're talking about giving the youngster a chance to play. He can play. And you can see Sandro there getting in his face, say, come on, young man, we need you.
He's an under-20 international with a national team here in Italy. Looks like he's got a fair bit of bulk to put on, but he has really had an impact since he came on the floor. Dudley backs him down, knocks it away, and that's good defense again. The man, look, Ranzi's really done a good job. Barris Ozcan's called for the foul mid-court. And the young 19-year-old 6'9" forward has had an impact for Benetton. Michael Wright steps back into the game. That'll be a different proposition for him.
Yeah, you can see Renzi's been well coached, so maybe 19, obviously been drilled very well, plays smart, similar to Nisovic. You can see who his role model is. Also Judd Wallace, very similar, good fundamental player, but with Michael Wright coming on the floor, different defensive proposition, because that guy's a live wire under the bucket.
It's good half-court execution by Benetton. Gets it to Savage on the inside, gets the drop. Not as pretty as Judson Wallace's little jump hook, but just as effective.
And it's interesting because, you know, scan reports will be on Sandro Nisovic hasn't changed in 10 years. Don't let him drive over his left shoulder, because he's going to kill you.
Oh, there's Michael Wright deep in the keyway. Beautiful high-low execution. Renzi just got a little bit schooled by the experienced player.
You talk about, that's the vet there, Chris Lang, high-low, and look at that, got the position. There's the bump, and the guy can use his left hand. He's left-handed, but he can use his left hand or his right hand. And Renzi, frustration, but young fella, you've just been schooled.
We like Michael Wright here. We just always want him to deliver on the potential he has. If they can get him the ball in the right places, then Turk Telekom are a tough, well-balanced team.
He's a 20-10 player, and he's given it for a number of years in European basketball. Now, you can't fault anything that he does unless you say, where are the championships? Yep. But he would argue, well, I'm getting contracts.
Well, here's the Savage. Back to the basket. Gets to the keyway. Saranga comes off the screen away from the ball. Looks like he's going to have to shoot it long two. Way off. Again, Saranga's is pretty streaky with his shooting, but good job by Renzi on the boards. And Lorbeck gets in the Savage. Floor well spread here by Benetton, trying to get space to penetrate into. The Savage finds Saranga. 9 seconds on the shot clock. High-low pass to Savage. What we're going to have called, and Michael Wright sticks his hand up.
Nisovic is really good at any young players trying to watch and see how effective a big man can be. Nisovic just flashed in there from the wing position. He's great at taking up the space, well, what used to be on the dotted line. There aren't dots on the inside the lane for this, but just above the charge circle. He gets great position. He's big. He uses his body well. And Saranga says, Mark Clark, you think I can't shoot? And that's how I can shoot.
I did say he was streaky.
Well, he gets his feet set. That's the difference. The first two ugly ones have come off the dribble. That time, he goes his feet set, coming off the screen, just pivot and catch and shoot. Nice
ball movement by Turk Telekom. Blakely's short by the three. And it would say defensive rebounds. And Saranga just says, nope, we're not going to run. Let's get the ball to Valeri. Let's run some half court. And Benetton, with the 1 point lead, have weathered the storm. Valeri off the high post screen, gets to the hoop and is fouled by Blakely. Wouldn't mind seeing that one again. That's a bit of a vet play by Mauricio Valeri.
Yeah, but I'll say this as well, Mark. You know, you said he was a good pickup. This could be a very good pickup for Benetton. This could be the difference between them finishing top four and home and not home in the playoffs in the Italian league and winning a competition like this. Valeri, a veteran, knows how to work the referees. He'll get you 10 points. He'll run the offense for you. Classic European point guard. Doesn't do anything spectacular, but he'll make his free throws every now and then. And you can see very different makeup to this team with him on the floor versus Deshaun Wood, who's a much more aggressive, offensive-minded player.
Well, they definitely look more balanced in the offensive rhythm that they have. Woods just checked back into the game with Valeri in the backcourt. That's an interesting combination. And we'll see how that... No, that's Gary Neal who's checked into the game. He picks up his defensive rebound, leads the break. Lorbeck's down the floor early, gets to the basket, is fouled. Not by Michael Wright, who blocked, but it looks like the foul's been called before Wright had a chance to block the shot. There's the foul, and it is a foul on Akpinya. And it will be a Turk Telekom timeout. That's a good timeout by Coach Santer. His team have lost that little bit of momentum.
Yeah, but there was a poor effect to execution of the offense, and then they didn't get back on defense, and that always a sign, let's have a timeout, talk it over.
Welcome back to Treviso. I hope you've caught your breath after that great first half that saw that score, 43-43. Stats look pretty even across the ball there, Martin, and rebounds the same, offensive and defense. The only worry for Turk Telekom there could be the number of fouls.
Yeah, they've committed a lot of fouls, but a lot of those fouls were committed establishing physical presence. The Basir knocking Nisovic to the floor like a paperweight early on in that second quarter. But the story of the game, I guess, has been this young man here, Andrea Renzi, who wouldn't even normally be on the scouting report, let alone on the stat sheet. And he's come up with big 13 points he had in that first half?
He was 6 from 7 plus the free throws. It's at least 13. So it's a great job by the young man. That's a tremendous, and he leads all scorers, I think, on the game.
13 points, 3 boards.
Already got a ranking, those stats rankings of 14 on a first half. What a great job the young man's done. And I know I keep going on about it, but again, if you invest the time and effort, those guys can come through for you when they need to.
Yeah. Well, his rankings are right up there with Michael Wright, the leading scorer for the Turk Telekom team. And I said somewhat facetiously that he's done now. Renzi's had his chance. As long as he's making shots, they'll keep giving him the ball. Let him miss 2 or 3 in a row, and he won't touch it again.
Well, both teams just coming out for the start of the third quarter. Martin made the point from his experience that he's had in these games. The Italian crowds notoriously don't really get into these things till the second half. And I think Benetton are going to need every piece of help they can get from the crowd.
Yeah, there's a few more bums on seats on the darkened side of the stadium. Now, the thing about Treviso Stadium, it's only about 4,500, and so it's quite tight fit, tight squeeze. So when he does get loud, he gets very loud in here. But they're accustomed to winning in Europe at home, and this season particularly, where they've been cleaning up across the board. But the question is, will they need the home fan support?
Nice kick from Wright, and the block is Chris Lang, goes with a jump hook. Gets it, got to make this. I was just about to say, great execution, go and establish something inside early. They did, and Chris Lang misses the jump hook that he should really score without any problems at all. Wallace in the block, kicks it. Nice execution, comes off the screen. Wood, nice pass, looking for the 3 from Saranga, who keeps trying to prove the fact that I gave him a hard time in the first half. That he can shoot the ball, but again, gets his feet set.
Yeah, catching it, no dribble involved, just catch, pivot and shoot. That's what he's effective at.
Here's Rodney Blake. Roderick Blake gets it up. Erdogan. They get the screen from Michael Wright. Pulls off the screen, little hesitation. Oh, that's well, it's... I'd like to see that again because there was a hesitation, but was it a carry? Yes, it was. Good call by the official. Just you don't see it very often.
Yeah, okay.
Even though it was, you still don't see it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not saying whether it was or wasn't a carry, but that's not one that's not a call.
You don't need it here. No, not at all. No. Oh, beautiful execution by Benetton Treviso. Wallace just flashed down the middle. The ball came off the screen. Beautiful pass to the low post, and as Wallace just cut to the basket. Great start by Treviso to this third quarter.
Now, a lot of people ask, what does Sandro Nicevic do? He doesn't dunk the ball, doesn't get a huge amount of points, but he's just a strong player and a great pass of the ball.
Well, the
record sense and the charge called then, and Michael Wright hoped for the layup, but you saw there, was it Bashir on the drive, and then, wow, talk about the ball's long gone and the referee called a charge. Wow. That's 2 calls that I would have said,
Yeah, a little bit iffy, both calls. We're not saying they're wrong, but they could have been no calls, and but they've gone Treviso's way. Can they really capitalize on it now? 48-43 they lead. 8:20 to go in the third. Here's Saranga, who's feeling it beautifully timed pass, just to hang it up there a little bit too long as Nicevic went to the basket.
Yeah, Bakir there, just play with his hands up, smart play. I'll tell you another reason why we're saying that there's a number of empty seats in here tonight. There's a couple of pretty important football matches going on, and
that's true. Probably some people are watching Milan play against Manchester United, but anyway, they're missing a hell of a basketball game at the moment. Wood goes to the basket. That'll be called basket good, and they still cannot handle Deshaun Wood going to the hoop.
And I feel like I'm a personal vendetta against Chris Lang, but come on, what are you doing? You're not impressing anybody. The shot didn't look like it was going in, and you're going to goaltend it? 50-43
is the result, and Turk Telekom stuck on 43, haven't scored for 2.5 minutes. Lang makes the layup, nice little pick and roll. They got something going to the basket. That's so important.
Credit there to Michael Wright, jumping around like a jumping jack, trying to draw the attention of his point guard, but also drew attention to the defense, who were worrying about what he was doing under the basket, which made Chris Lang up for that pick and roll, who was executed pretty well there.
Nice pass by O'Neal. Nicevic can't handle it. Oh, scrappy. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Telekom turn it over. Chance for them to keep that scoreboard going. Blakely's fouled as he was trying to go to the basket. And Saranga sacrifices that foul.
We talk about Sandro Nicevic, about all the good things he does. Great hands. That's 2 fumbles of the basketball he's had. And successive plays, and Rob Blakely makes a smart drive, picks the ball up off to the races, and Saranga did exactly the right thing, tied him up, made it so it was a foul that didn't cause any free throws.
Blakely finds there's right again, and we got a foul on.
Look at that. Wallace just got his hand
Wallace,
up. So so, you know, that look on his face says, yeah, okay, ref, I fouled him, but what would you do? He's strong as an ox.
Yeah.
You know, he's got me sealed. Of course I'm going to foul him.
Well, Benetton are going to have to use that depth. They really do have some people on the bench who can play. So the fouls aren't going to hurt them as much as they could hurt Telekom. Adogan gets it to Lang on the far side. Lang on the pick and roll off his thigh, and
I'm not going to be hard in that one. They try to execute exactly the same play they did on this side of the floor on the opposite side, and there the ball hits him in the hands and he fumbles it. But you know, there's the old cliche with the big man, unless you're going to hit him in the face, there's no guarantee he's going to catch it.
And as Martin's a big man, he can get away with saying that. Oh, well, Saranga is giving a demonstration of three-point shooting now as he gets his feet set.
Well, he's taking your advice. He's recognised the notes that we sent through at halftime said, stop dribbling out to shoot, just catch and shoot it. Message home, 3 in a row.
Wow, he's done a great job, and they're really executing the pick off him well. Barris almost travels with that. Adogan with a long 3, nails one.
I tell you, that guy there, he gets his eye in. He's deadly from anywhere. And you know, we were just talking in the halftime about the Eurobasket this summer and how tough Turkey we think they are going to be next year when it gets to 2010. The World Championships go to Turkey. Watch out, dark horse, home team that's going to cause some fireworks. Watch out for Turkey.
Gary Neal tried to go to the basket. Good defense by Barris. I'll scan there, but Wallace just about recovers it. Only 7 seconds on the shot clock. Wood's going to put this on the floor. Going to try and get to the hoop. Ivy kicks it. Gary Neal with a long 3. Oh. Nothing but string. Well,
good defense, great offense.
Absolutely. And for a team that struggled at the beginning to get themselves going, Benetton are on a roll. That's another 3-pointer. Rodney Blake. Roderick Blakely is called for...
No, the offensive foul on Chris Lang.
Off the ball. Well, Lang
screen.
Sooner or later, Turk Telekom are going to need a timeout, or we need to see Erwin Dudley again, because Chris Lang, the negative stats are building up.
Well, it's just he makes some what I call big dummy mistakes. You know, a goaltend against a shot when there's no need for you to goaltend. An illegal screen, you know, just stand still. It's the big man job to set the screen. It's then the job of the guard, in this case Serkan Erdogan, to get open off that screen. Don't move. You don't need to make it illegal.
Well, Gary Neal's found his touch.
He's also found out how to get open off that screen there. He did exactly the opposite there. He rolled off Judd Wallace, got himself open, read where the defender was. Nice step in for the jumper.
Well, Dudley's in the game. Nice pass to Blakely on the far side. Nails the 3. And the only difference here between this and the last game between these two is that Turk Telekom are just not letting Benetton get one of those big runs on them. They're hanging around here. They trail 7. Wallace gets it to Neal. Neal's alive, wide, a hot hand at the moment. Little travel, no call. Wood with a running layup is off, and that will be a Turk Telekom ball. And I think Wallace got away with a foul, and it was definitely off of Erwin Dudley.
Dudley knocked it out, but the referee just gave the ball to Telekom. It was one of those unintentional fouls.
Yeah.
He fouled him. The ref said, but I'm not going to call a foul. You got the ball back.
No call. Let's get on with the game. Let's not ruin it with a foul. Adogan comes off the screen. Comes back the screen the other way. Michael Wright hasn't seen the ball for a long time. Blakely in the corner.
And you see Turk Telekom are looking for the 3-point shot now.
Well, they're feeling it, though. They're feeling it. Adogan wants the 3-point shot. Closes it to a 4-point game, 58-54.
It looks like Erdogan and Blakely are playing horse out there.
Neal's going to answer with another 3. Oh, that was quick. Came off the screen, just stepped back and knocked down the 3. Well, hold on. It's scoring for fun now. 66 and 57% from the 3-point line. Both teams are hot from out there.
Well, neither team's missed one in the second half. That's how hot they are.
Dudley's. Michael Wright still hasn't touched the ball. Now Barris fancies it, doesn't get the drop. Not really, he's the worst of the three out there. That's a crazy foul by Blakeney. Halfway line with his team back, just reaches. And there's a foul on Roderick Blakeney.
No, that's a stop the play kind of foul.
After the Turk Telekom timeout, it's a Benetton Treviso basketball, and Doman Lawback in the game. Just what you don't want to see after Gary Neal has been pouring in threes, to have Lawback on the other side of the floor. They have shooters on every spot on the floor at the moment. Savage finds Wallace. Long two is no good, and Adogan comes down with a rebound and will give it to Blakeney. And Turk Telekom a chance to eat into the 7-point lead. And they need to just keep it under 10, get it to 5, and they're in with a real shot at this one. Adogan thought about it, off balance, gets it back to Blakeney. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Gets inside the keyway, little runner, and makes the floater for 2 from Roderick Blakeney on the baseline.
Now, Mark, we've been critical of Turk Telekom for not getting the ball inside to Michael Wright. But one thing that does help, when you execute like they've just done there, a couple of pick and rolls with Irwin Dudley, is you're actually giving him a rest. So it means he can stay on the floor for more minutes at a time. And Michael Wright will go 40 minutes for you. So if they can keep him on the floor and rest him on offense, it's almost a way of giving him a substitute. But I still would like them to put the ball in his hands every now and then.
It's a tough call there on Irwin Dudley. Thought it was just a decent hustle play, and that's the 4th team foul for Turk Telekom. Any more fouls will send Treviso to the free throw line. Gary Neal trying to get another one away, and good defense that time by Turk Telekom. Wood gets it to Wallace for the 3, way off. Nice early look, great release by Michael Wright. He can go 40, and he gets the and 1, and Wallace compounds the bad 3 with them. And let's have a look on the foul. This is crazy.
It's Deshaun Wood the foul, but why on earth? He clearly smacked his right hand of a left-handed player.
It's Tuku comes into the game for Turk Telekom, and Michael, we just talked about Michael Wright going 40, just took off like a gazelle.
He's an athlete. He can run when he has to. He's not a gazelle. He's not going to sprint non-stop, but if you put him in a foot race, a chance to score or do something for his team, he'll do it.
Wow, it's a 2-point game now, 61-59. Turk Telekom all the way back in this one. Deshaun Wood trying to create some halfway. Lawback, nice penetration. You gotta love this guy. Hits the 3, gets to the keyway, beautiful running hook shot.
Yeah, and he took the bump then as well. So, I mean, you've seen those called and 1. Strong player, smart player, read the screen. Set by that time by Nisovic.
There's Oscar finds Michael Wright in the keyway, first chance, and Wallace has fouled him again. And for someone with his education, the Princeton graduate, he's coming up with some dumb plays in the last couple of moments.
Well, I remember a college coach I used to play for, Mike Polio, calling somebody book smart and street stupid.
He's definitely having a problem. The big 3. The dumb foul, and the net effect is sit down.
You go back to the air ball 3. While he hung his head for a half a second thinking about that missed shot. And in that time, it took him to hang his head. Michael Wright was off to the races to get a 3-point play. That's the difference between an average player and an exceptionally good player.
Well, Tuku penetrates, gives it to Blakeney for 3 from the corner. 1-point game, 63-62. Well, we thought this second stage was going to be competitive here on Eurosport 2. But wow, we've seen some games. We've got another one now. 1-point game, 63-62. Neal for another 3. Oh, so surprised when someone misses a 3.
I'll tell you, Gary Neal, I like the look of his game, but I still like this Irwin Dudley on the boards. It's a great back to basics, old-fashioned big man. Solid rebounder, good screen, rolls.
Tuku almost with a turnover. Blakeney recovers it. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Going inside to Wright. He's got to shoot this. Gets it back out to Blake. He's got to shoot it. Gets it away. 1 second on the clock. Just about gets it away. Hits the ring. Wood will go to the basket and does not connect with the layup.
Well, I thought he was going to make that layup then, but everybody tried to foul him. Nobody made contact.
Now, if Turk Telekom are smart here, they'll take this. They'll definitely get the ball back after this next shot. They've got to get a good shot here, though. They're under 8 seconds already. Tuku on the penetration. kicks it. Oscar finds Turk in the corner.
That's just great execution, Mark. You know, Turk shattered his teammates, and we've criticised before because he normally starts and say, why would you bring Erdogan off the bench? That's why, you know, he orchestrated his team, told them where to go, and they executed that penetrate, rotation out, kicks out of the corner, gets it back, nails the three.
Oh, Saranga off the bench for the last minute and a half, gets his feet set again and just knocks down a three. Well,
he didn't look like he knew he'd make that jumper. Cool as a cucumber.
Nice pass, collects the ball, feet set and string. Whoa.
Oh.
Wow. We're going to be back after this commercial break. We've got 66-65. Do not go anywhere.
Complete coverage of the top European leagues. Every match with live comments and scoring and exclusive breaking news. Follow the football season at eurosport.yahoo.com.
Well, here we go with 71-71, 6:40 to go. And this man, Gary Neal, has just come to life in the second half. Massimo Bulleri at the point, pulls up for the three off the dribble, nails it well.
I was about to say that they're working really hard to get Bulleri the ball. The guy hasn't done anything tonight, and well, he showed what he had saved up for the fourth quarter.
That's when your Olympic silver medalist comes through. Looking for Michael Wright. Oh, no! What's going on? And Saranga may well shout to the crowd.
I think he's trying to act like his jaw hurts. It was Oscar's night before last.
Wow, Saranga, beautiful,
seat.
Beautiful defensive draw of the foul, I think I can describe.
Well, he's trying to say that the big mean man elbowed me in the throat, but the guy was posting up. He's allowed to clear space. Anyway, we love the referees. But
beautiful penetration. Bulleri misses it, but Judson Wallace on the follow-through gets the offensive rebound and makes it 75-71.
It's that little run of calls there that can be soul-destroying. You know, offensive foul on your star player trying to post up, which means he's got to be softer. A missed call on a layup.
Freeze off. Wallace gets the rebound. Irwin Dudley couldn't get the offensive board. Well, Benetton, this is heads up now. Heads up play. Bulleri slows it down. They want to get a shot. They're trying to get it. Not just going to take the first thing that comes. They'll work things. A lot of screens away from the ball. Bulleri off the screen down low. Doesn't get the drop, but Wallace is doing a great job on the boards. And it's the offensive execution that was as much to thank for that as well, because it just got the defense out of position. Excellent execution by Benetton.
Yeah, Michael Wright had to step up, contest a shot by Bulleri, which freed Wallace up underneath the basket for the offensive rebound. And it's just a little, you'll see it here, there's Bulleri. So then Dudley, didn't even put a hand up. He tried to contest a shot with his head. But that left Wallace wide open to get the offensive board. And then that layup. And it's a little run of calls there. And you felt there's been a big momentum swing on the back of a couple of missed calls by the referees, which has made the Turk Telekom be less aggressive on the offensive end inside, and then a couple of calls gone against them on defensively.
I know, and I get it every time we comment on the officials. I will, in games in the following week, officials will say, no, the referee's got it right, but the bump on the body started that. Michael Wright in the post, and the smaller guy does get that benefit from the officials sometimes.
You'll live with one call, one bad call, because they happen. Referees are, we believe to be human. They're the animal, at least, the animal vegetable world. But three calls. You got the flop on this, of which they give them the benefit of the doubt to the big man. They go to the other end. They don't protect the point guard going for an uncontested layup. Miss that foul, and then they call the big man the other way. Consistency, it's all we ever asked for. Yeah,
absolutely. And yeah, they might even themselves up over the game, but this momentum swing of 6 points could be key.
Well, you look Michael right there, just not even trying to post up as aggressive as he normally would, because Saranga's just collapsing and taking a foul.
4 seconds on the shot clock. Wide open for the three. Good execution of the shot. Irwin Dudley comes up with the rebound. Blakeney wants the three, doesn't get it. Off it, has to get a foul here. And see, Saranga's so smart. What a veteran play. Yeah, you got me, referee. but he knows the referees have helped him. He thanked him for it, and we'll see the push in a moment. And there goes Michael Wright, and then Saranga puts his thumb up, takes the call.
Yeah, but he's getting the sympathy vote from the referee. That's why he loves it. It's a smart move by Coach Mahmouti. I mean, he's got the smaller, quicker lineup on the floor. Michael Wright obviously not effective against the smaller player because he can't. The referees aren't protecting him.
Wow. Foul. What we got?
3 seconds.
Second call.
Wow.
Well, it's not so much players disputing the calls. It's players not understanding the call that is something that worries you if you're in this situation.
Again, I'm not trying to say it's one rule for one or different for another, but Sandro Nicevic again lives in the low post. He doesn't move out the lane, so how on earth can you say that this guy, this is the only 3-second call that's happened all night long?
Well, it's still only a 6-point game though. Bulleri pulls up, doesn't make the 2 off the dribble. He's taken the last 4 shots, and
wow, Turk just looked off Michael Wright.
Oh, Dudley, they're settling for jump shots when they've got the chance to go on the inside. And Wright needs the ball. Got it now. Go to work, Michael Wright. Fouled. And that's what they need to do. They need to get it in there and be strong. He'll go to the free throw line now, I hope, and he will make the 2.
Makes this game look really simple, doesn't it?
There we go.
You know, we sit there saying, don't take the jump shots, get it inside. We'll say, why do you want to go inside? That's why. And this game is not rocket science.
Well, Wallace picks up his 4th foul. And while Wallace has been doing an excellent job, now they've gone small. Losing Wallace is not going to hurt them as much because they're going to bring back Sandro and Savic, and if the worst comes to the worst, Renzi comes back.
But well, Renzi's not going to take his shooting jersey off the rest of the night, Mark. I told you at halftime, what I say, he's done. That goose was cooked 20 minutes ago. But it's actually not a bad thing because they went small to protect the fouls of the big men. But now, because they're in foul trouble, you don't have the option to go back with 2 bigs. So it actually forces the coach's hand, and the teammates know, right, this is it, we're going to go the small, quick lineup. So there's a bit of confidence in the players on the floor, knowing that this is who the coach is going to go with the rest of the way. Nicevic. Oh, wow. Wow. You saw the ball go through the basket on that free throw, and Nicevic was out of bounds before the ball had even come to the net. So they called that. That's a play they practiced. Great pass there. And Gary Neal, where's the foul? There's the block.
It's one of those.
Viewers will say, well, I can see the contact on the body. You say, yes, but there's been 5 calls in a row that have gone against Turk Telekom. Yep. And then that was a 60-40 call, let's say that, not 50-50. More foul than not, but...
Well, let's just say that the contact, while it being more aggressive, was no less obvious than the one that was missed on the open one down the other end.
Absolutely.
So here's Gary Neal, who's been perfect at times from the 3-point line, goes 1 from 2, and it's still, even though those calls have gone the way that they have, it's still only a 6-point game, 78-72. Telekom need to score this time, need to get that scoreboard ticking over. But Dogan's back in the game.
Yeah, and you know he's trying to get his shot off. That works in your favour if you're Benetton.
And Yagumi picks up the 3-pointer. He's not the guy who should be shooting, I don't think.
No, he isn't. But when Erdogan's on the floor, when people ask why is Turk going to be the main man as the point guard, because it changes the personality of this team. They go to become a 3-point shooting outfit as opposed to a penetrating kick.
Saranga with his feet set is perfect. When he has shot the ball off the pass with his feet set, he has not missed the 3.
That's 5 from 7 tonight. He's took 2 jumpers off the dribble, bricks. 5 shots with his feet set, nothing but bottoms.
The pressure on Erdogan's intense. Right, nice spin to the middle. Nice finish by Michael Wright. Keep going there, Turk Telekom. Keep the scoreboard ticking over.
And you have to ask yourself, though, how can you say he's not getting bumped on those drives? I mean,
it's contact.
Definitely. Anyway, let's leave the rest alone. It's been a great performance. Both teams have really elevated their game, and hats off. Particularly, I think the Turk Telekom are coming off a 22-point butt kicking at home 2 weeks ago. Really matched them shot for shot, but now the 7-point deficit with a little over 3 minutes left. They need a couple of big plays to go their way.
Well, Gary Neal back on the 3-throw line. Strokes the first. Martin said he really liked his game. He looks a quality player. And if he's got good guards out there to get him the ball, he has points. He has points in him for this team. Goes 2 from 2 for the line there. It's a 9-point game all of a sudden.
He's one of these kids that's just come through the college ranks with a natural European game. La Salle University and Towson State, not a hotbed of international basketball. He went to Barcelona last season. So he knows what he's doing on the floor. Really relishing the challenge of playing for this Benetton team.
Turk 3 comes up short. The wheels are coming off a little bit because the Dogan hasn't got the ball and they haven't got the ball inside. Now they're chasing the game now with 2:20 to go. They need to stop here though. Wood kicks it out. Neil, nice pass. Saranga, extra pass to Lawbeck. I'm almost surprised he missed it, but Benetton come up with the offensive board.
And that's Nisovic, who just being a pest, causing the rebound not to be got cleanly. Now what do? Do you go for a quick one, or do you try to get the ball back inside?
Well, there's still 2 minutes to go. The most important thing is they've got to get a good shot. Ogun makes that shot for fun.
Referee gives him a 2 on that one.
Yeah, slipped onto the 3-point line of Ogun, but it gets the scoreboard ticking over. Just a 7-point game.
Pressure on the ball. Now you've got to play straight defense. You didn't foul, but this is the problem here. Deshaun Wood is 2 or 3 steps quicker than Tutku, so he could get to the basket at will.
And there he is, getting to the basket, doesn't get the drop, but the damage is done with the foul. 83-76.
On his right hand as well, you know, it's so easy there. Don't let him drive right. Owen Dudley that time committed the crime of turning his back on the ball handler, driving down his throat. Pays the price by fouling out of the game.
Well, it's Benetton, Treviso in touching distance now to the final 8 in Turin. If they win today, they will be, along with Moscow, the first 2 teams to qualify for that final 8 tournament. Well, during this timeout, there's 2 things here. They've got to get some stops or some quick fouls, and then they've got to go down the floor with some quick offensive sets to get some, probably look to the early 3.
Yeah, well, you take the early bucket. The most important thing here is to see what happens on these free throws from Deshaun Wood. If he can miss one, you try and get off to the races quick on the second miss. But basically, you say you want to take the best basket you can. You're 3 scores behind, so 3 or 2 makes no difference. What you'd really like is get fouled on a 3-point shot, but just great moves. How there's no foul, I just don't know. I mean, anyway, let that go. I mean, and also know if you're Turk Telekom, there's no need to protect the point spread because you've already lost against this team once. So if you lose by 9 or you lose by 2, makes no difference. So you've got to go for the win. Well,
yeah, the thing that's to point out for Turk Telekom, destiny's still in their own hands if they lose tonight, because they've still got to play Zadar and Unix. It becomes a real dogfight in this group for the second spot, because Unix and Zadar have to play Benetton, and that's going to be a tough ask.
And Zadar, of course, stole the win on the road in Unix tonight, which really does crank things open, because they have the heads up. But if then Benetton goes and beats Zadar,
well, everyone's back in the mix then. And Unix, Kazan, who we've seen already here on Eurosport 2, are the Russian Cup winners at the weekend. So must have been a bit of a hangover there for Unix, but still only a 9-point game. They need this quick point. And
they're trying to get they're trying to get the... Wow, nice.
Oh, this will be an interesting call.
No, that's a 3-point shot. That's smart play by Tutku. Nisovic trying to say, hey, my name's Sandro.
He's only given 2. There's the foul. He's way outside the 3-point line.
Well, maybe Sandro's name does carry some weight with the officials.
Well, this will be I know we have the benefit of the slow motion, but...
oh, come on. What he's saying is a non-shooting foul. He's only going to give him 2 free throws.
Well, the good thing for them is the clock has stopped while they're shooting these, so there's no ticks coming off while they add to the score. 77-85. They bring it back to a 7-point game. They're still within touching distance. Need a stop or a foul. There's a little trap up the floor. Beaten easily with Deshaun Wood. Will slow it up now. They're still going to trap him. They're going to trap him. They're looking for the steal in the pass. Michael Wright fouls on the pass.
Not a bad foul, because Nisovic is not the best of free throw shooters in pressure situations. Of course, he'll now go and make 2 swishes, but Michael Wright there got a hand on the ball, contending that. The referee finally makes the call.
Well, Nisovic is under 80%, so there are better free throw shooters out there.
Oh, he's a good free throw shooter. I'm just saying, if he's going to miss, it'll be down the stretch in big ones.
Well, he's made the first. Sandro Nisovic has been in this situation lots in his career, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, we're clutching at straws. I mean, you're up by 8 points with a minute left. You can hardly call that a pressure situation.
They need a quick shot. There's nothing about points difference now. They need to score. Oh, Michael Wright down the middle is fouled and will have the chance of the three-point play.
Wow.
That's a
and one. Good. Just the last thing you do
is foul this one.
There's the foul in the arm. And you know, you say it once, you say it 1,000 times. A guy like Michael Wright, he gets the ball there, he's going to make the layup. Just leave him alone. What you don't want to do is compound the problem by committing the foul, and Nisovic knows he got outthought on that play.
Well, this will make it 6. And he makes it. 6 points, 107.
2 scores. They're just chipping away, but still, you've got to fancy the home team.
Foul or steal here. Got to steal it. Got to steal it off foul early. Well, they've already taken 8 seconds off the shot clock, 10 seconds off the shot clock. Can't foul now.
There you go. Put him on his left hand here. He's not going to beat you going left.
Don't foul him. Just make him take a bad shot. You can go down the floor and score. Oh, don't make him make a layup. Misses on his left hand. Chance for Telekom now. Got to get the shot away.
Looking for Erdogan on the trail.
Erdogan, nice decision. Open 3 for Turk. He's good. 38 seconds to go. They trail by 3, and it's still 39 seconds to go. Erdogan, what a good decision.
They are like poetry in motion. You saw there, Bashir kicked the ball to Turk, just dribbled through. It's a play they do all the time. One penetrates, kicks to the other one. Defense jumps to Erdogan. Meanwhile, Turk just rotates to the open 3. And we talked about, watch out, World Championship 2010. Put your money on them now. Dark horse for a medal. Turkey, the home team. These guys know how to play together.
Well, not only will they know how to play together, but then with their crowd, that's a 10. Wow, that's
it's gonna be madness. Absolute madness. If there's ever a tournament you want to not miss, and I'm talking about it up early. I'm talking this one up 18 months early. That's going to be a great month of basketball.
Well, that's even before Eurobasket, where you've got a phenomenal tournament in the summer. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. What we've got here is 38 seconds of sheer tension.
Well, I can't believe they've got back in this. I mean, this game was done 20 seconds ago, you know, and then you look, just little tiny things. You put the Sean Wood, finally you push him onto his left hand and he blows a layup, and then you get the come back the other way. Sandro Nisovic, who's been orchestrating and controlling things in the paint the whole game, gives Michael Wright a 3-point play. These guys just want to get the drama extended out as long as possible. They don't want my heart to give out.
Well, steal it from the sideline. What do we think? Here we go. Going back court. Oh, right on the sideline. Got to trap that. Got to trap that too. It's around the halfway line. Oh, it's on the base. A white ball. It's a white ball. It's Bill by a great job by Turk Telekom. 32.3 seconds to go, and it's a 3-point game. There's the fumble, there's the hand, there's the ball, out of bounds. Kicks it, controlling, going to the basket, kicks, wide open 3. It's short, the wrong guy took the shot. Yagami took the shot. We've got a foul, good foul, still 16 seconds to go. But no, Erdogan.
What on earth? Okay, let's put this in perspective, though. I mean, look, he's dancing out the sideways. Like, look, I'm going to make the shot, Miles. Like, you know, you're not going to make the shot. You should be shooting the ball. They need to calm down. They got a bit too excited. There's Turku recognizing he'll take the blame for that, because as the point guard on this team, it's his responsibility to put the ball in the hands of the guy you want to make that decision.
One of these will do, yeah.
Game breaker.
Yeah, 88. Well, not necessarily.
Well, I'm not saying this game over. I mean, that there really does put the yoke on your back.
5-point game. They need a quick shot. Doesn't have to be a 3. Erdogan penetrates, gets his feet set, kicks it. Need a shot. Erdogan, good defense by Treviso. The 3's no good. And it's out of bounds. Write this one in the book now with 2.36 seconds to go. 5-point. Benetton, Treviso, and Italian team make it to Turin. 2 seconds away from being in the final 8. Adogan with the 3 is good, but it's all too late. A 2-point defeat. Benetton Treviso are bound for Turin. They'll be one of the teams in the top 8 of the Eurocup, but what a performance by Turk Telekom.
Well, both teams, hats off. I mean, Erdogan made that shot at the end just to tell his point guard, Turk, give me the ball, young man. But great performance. Congratulations, Benetton Treviso, the second team to qualify for the final 8 in Turin, along with Dinamo Moscow. The scene is slowly being set now. Just a great performance. What a game of basketball, though, Mark. Just fantastic performance.
Well, 89-87, it had it all. Great three-point shooting from both teams. Great inside play. Michael Wright, Vasajevic. You had tremendous performance by Judson.